So I welcome you all to our YouTube channel Vision India. Today we are going to start class 7th chapter 1 nutrition in plant. We will complete this chapter in one single video. But before we start this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you cannot miss any update of this channel. So let's get started. So in class 6 you learned that food is essential for all living organisms. You also learned that carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamin and minerals are components of food. These components of food are necessary for our body and they are called nutrients. All living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves, but animals, including humans, cannot. They get it from plants or animals that eat plants. Thus, human and animal are directly or indirectly dependent on plant. Mode of nutrition in plant. Plants are the only organism that can prepare food for themselves by using water, carbon dioxide and mineral. The raw materials are present in their surrounding. The nutrients enable living organisms to build their bodies, to grow, to repair damaged part of their bodies and provide the energy to carry out life processes. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. The mode of nutrition in which organisms make food themselves from simple substances is called autotroph. The word auto means self and the word troph means nourishment. Means the plant that nourish themselves is called autotrophy. Understand? Therefore, plants are autotroph. Animals are the most other organisms take in ready-made food prepared by the plant. They are called heterotroph. Hetero means other. They are dependent on other. Now we may ask where the food factories of plants are located. Whether food is made in all parts of a plant or in a certain parts. How do plants obtain the raw materials from the surroundings? How do they transport them to the food factories of the plant? Photosynthesis. Leaves are the food factories of plant. The synthesis of food in plant occur in leaf. Therefore, all the raw material must reach there. Water and minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the root and transported to the leaves. Carbon dioxide is taken from air through the tiny pore present on the surface of the leaves. These pores are surrounded by guard cell. Such pores are called stomata, which run like a pipe throughout the root, the stem and the branches to the leaf. They form a continuous path or a passage for the nutrition to reach the leaf. Means the root absorb the nutrient from the ground and transport and pull it upward, and from their vessel take it and carry it to the leaves. Okay. You will learn about transport of materials in plant in chapter 11. We will discuss it in more detail in chapter 11. Okay. So the leaves have green pigment called chlorophyll. What do you mean by chlorophyll? It is a green pigment which help to make food in leaf. It stores sunlight. The sunlight is trapped here, and from there nutrition are made. It helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. This energy is used to synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, it is called photosynthesis. The word photo means light and the word synthesis means to combine. When we combine light, is called as photosynthesis. So we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis. It is a unique process on the earth. The solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the form of food. Thus, sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. The sun is the only ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. Understand? Can you imagine life on earth in the absence of photosynthesis? In the absence of photosynthesis, there would not be any food. The survival of almost all living organisms directly or indirectly depends upon the food made by the plants. Besides, oxygen is essential for the survival. You have seen that buildings are made of bricks. Similarly, the bodies of all living organisms are made up of tiny units called cells. Cells can be seen only the under of microscope. Some organisms are made of only one cell. The cell is enclosed by a thin outer boundary is called cell membrane. Most cells have distinct centrally located spherical structure called nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by a jelly-like structure called cytoplasm. So here I explain you. Let's make a rough diagram of a cell. Imagine this is a cell. This is nucleus and the outer is called as cell membrane. The outer layer of these is called as cell membrane and the inner is called as nucleus. It is the head of the cell and around it what are present? Jelly like structure. That structure is called as cytoplasm. You will study this in detail in upcoming classes. Beside oxygen, which is essential for the survival of all living organism, is produced during photosynthesis. In the absence of photosynthesis, life would not be possible on Earth. Means photosynthesis is the first process of life. Like during the photosynthesis, if photosynthesis happen, let me change the color. If photosynthesis occurring, then life would be happening. If photosynthesis do not occur, life would not be occurring. Understand? During photosynthesis, chlorophyll containing cells of leaves in presence of sunlight use carbon dioxide and water to synthesize carbohydrate. The process can be represented as an equation. So this is the equation. The equation says that when carbon dioxide plus water in front of sunlight against chlorophyll make carbohydrate plus oxygen. Oxygen is in the form of gas, so it is vaporized. Out and we breathe it. So this is the structure of chlorophyll and the stomata. During the process, oxygen is released. The carbohydrate ultimately get converted into starch. The presence of starch in leaf indicate the occurrence of photosynthesis. The starch is also a carbohydrate. So, if the plant do not use its carbohydrate, it is stored in the form of starch. If carbohydrate is not used, then it make starch. So this is an activity. Let's get it. Take two potted plants of same kind. Keep one in dark or in black box for 72 hours. The 72 hour means complete 3 days. And other in the sunlight. Perform an iodine test with the leaf of both of the plant as you did in class 6. In class 6, an activity of iodine test have been done. Record your result. Now leave the pot which was earlier kept in dark in sunlight for 3 to 4 days and perform the iodine test again. On this, record your observation in your notebook. The observation is the Starch is present again because of sunlight. The leaves other than green also have chlorophyll. The large amount of red, brown and other pigment mask the green layer. Photosynthesis takes place in these leaves. It means like a green leaf. It is a green leaf, and from there it contains red pigment very high, so it is being spotted like red, or it is being converted to red, but they have chlorophyll. Understand? Leaves with various color. Here you see many leaves with different type of color. You can see that some leaves have just a spotted structure, while some are completely. You often see slimy green patches in the pond or in other stagnant water body. The word stagnant means still. They are generally formed by the growth of organism called as algae. You can guess which algae are green in color. They contain chlorophyll, which gives them green color. Algae can also prepare their own food by photosynthesis. Synthesis of food other than carbohydrate. You have just learnt that plants synthesize carbohydrate through the process of photosynthesis. The carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These are used to synthesize other components of food such as protein, fats, but protein are nitrogenous substances which contain nitrogen. From where do plants obtain nitrogen? So here, the nitrogenous substances, like protein, are nitrogenous substances, which means they contain nitrogen. They contain nitrogen. So, from where do they get nitrogen? Recall that nitrogen is present in abundance in gaseous form in the air. However, plants cannot absorb nitrogen in this form because they can only absorb carbon dioxide, because nitrogen is lighter than normal air, so it cannot be absorbed by this form. Soil contains bacteria that convert gaseous nitrogen into a usable form and release it into the soil. These soluble forms are absorbed by the plant along with water. Also, you might have seen farmer adding fertilizer rich in nitrogen to the soil. In this way, the plant fulfill their requirement of nitrogen along with the other constituent. Plant can then synthesize components of food other than carbohydrates such as fat and protein. So, how do they observe? Who observed the nitrogen? They are observed by root. They are observed by their plant root. Like plant root observed the water and mineral, and from there it observed nitrogen. Understand? Other mode of nutrition in plant. There are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. They can synthesize their food. How do they survive, and from where do they derive nutrients? Like human and animals, such plants depend on the food produced by other plants. They use the heterotrophic mode of nutrients. Look at the figure 1.5. Do you see yellow tubular structure twinkling around the stem and branches on the tree? This plant is called as Kaskata or known as Amarbel. It does not have chlorophyll. It takes ready-made food from plant. On which it is climbing. The plant which it climbs is called as host. So it gets its food from host. Since it despite it the host of valuable nutrients, it is called as parasite. This type of nutrition is called as parasite. Are we and the other animal also parasite on the plant? You should think about it and discuss with your teacher. Have you seen or heard of plant that can eat animal? There are a few plants which can trap insects and digest them. Is it not amazing that some plants are eating insects too? They do it because they need large amount of nutrition than normal, so their leaves are converted into pitcher-like structure, and the apex of the leaf form a lid. The apex is the layer. Example, this is a leaf. This is called leaf, and the above portion, like this portion, is called as apex. I will mark it with red color. This portion is called as apex. So apex modified into a lid and the leaf modified into a pitcher-like structure, which can open and close its mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher there are hairs which are directed downward. When insect land in the pitcher, the lid closes and the trapped insect gets enlargement in the hair. The insect is digested by the digestive juice secreted in the pitcher. Such insect eating plants are called as insectivorous plant. Is it possible that such plants do not get all the requirement from their soil in which they grow? So let's learn about saprotroph. You might have seen packed of mushroom sold in the vegetable market. You have seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing on rooting wood during the rainy season. Let's find out what type of nutrition they need to survive and they get. Take a piece of bread and moisten it with water. Leave it in a moist, warm place for 2 to 3 days or until fluffy patches appear on them. These patches may be white, green, brown or of any other color. So here it is saying that take a piece of bread and moisten it, means keep it in moisture, or moisten it means put some water on a piece of bread. Leave it moist warm place and put it to the moist warm places in which no sunlight is happening and it is warm for 2 to 3 days or until fluffy patches appear on them. These patches may be white, green, brown or of any color. Observe the patches under microscope and magnifying glasses. What do you mean by magnifying glasses? A glass that magnifying things is called magnifying glasses. Microscope is used to see microorganisms. Okay. So here, if you look, you will see some yellow color fungi growing on the bread. Yellow color. And if you see it in the microscope, you will see that some fungi is growing like this. Okay, write down your observation in your notebook. In this, the observation you have to write in your notebook. Most probably, you will see cotton-like thread spread on a piece of bread. Most of the time, you will see in the bread, bread do not generate sperm. They generate a thread-like structure which is holding anywhere. It is called as fungi. The organisms are called fungi. They are different mode of nutrient. They secrete digestive juices on dead and decaying matter and they convert it into a solution. Then they observe the nutrition from it. This mode of nutrition in which organisms take in the nutrients in the solution from dead and decaying matter is called as saprotrophic nutrition. Plant which use saprotrophic nutrition are called as saprotroph. Fungi also grow on pickle, leather, cloth and other articles that are left in hot and humid weather for a long time. During the rainy season, they spoil many things. Ask your parent about the menace of fungi in your house. The fungi spores are generally present in the air. When they land on wet and warm things, they germinate and grow. Now, can you figure out how we can protect our things from getting spoiled? Some organisms live together and share shelter and nutrients. They are called a symbiotic relation. Example, certain fungi live in the roots of tree. The tree provides nutrition to the fungus and in return receive help from it and take up water and nutrients from the soil. This association is very nutrient in the trees. An organism called lichen, a chlorophyll containing partner which is an alga and fungus live together. The fungus provide shelter, water and mineral to alga and in return the alga provide which is prepared by photosynthesis. How nutrition are replenished in the soil? Have you seen that farmer spreading manure and fertilizer in the field or in the gardener using them in lawn or in pot? Do you know why they are added to the soil? You have learned that plants absorb mineral nutrients from the soil, so their amount in the soil will keep in declining the fertilizer and manure containing plant nutrition such as nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, etc. These nutrients need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. We can grow plants and keep them healthy if we can fulfill the nutrient requirement of plants. Usually, crops require a lot of nitrogen to make protein. After the harvest, the soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. You learnt that through nitrogen gas is available in plenty in nature. Plant cannot use it in the manner they can use carbon dioxide. They need nitrogen in a soluble form. So bacterium called rhizosome can take atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into a soluble form. But the ribosome cannot make its own food, so it lives in the root of gram, pea, moong, beans and other legumes and provides them with nitrogen. Most of the pulses, dals are obtained from leguminous plants. In return, plants provide and have shelter to the bacteria. They thus have a symbiotic relationship. This association is great significance for the farmer. They do not need to add nitrogen fertilizer to the soil in which leguminous plants are grown. In this chapter, you have learnt that most of the plants are autotroph. Only a few plants adopt their mode of nutrient like parasite and saprotroph. They derive nutrient from other organisms. All animals are categorized as heterotroph since they depend on plant and other animals for food. Can we say that the insectivorous plants are partial heterotroph? Yes, we can say. So that's it for now. Students, subscribe to our amazing channel Vision India, and if you have learned something new, then leave us a like and share this video with your friends. And if you have any doubt regarding to this topic, then mention it in the comment box. Thank you.